What's up now, crew? Welcome back. I have 6 different polygels to try out for you guys today. We are going to find out the best polygel so you don't have to waste your money, sis. I'm going to save you some coins. Keep watching. All right, now crew, let me go ahead and set up all my things here. So I have a little label. You can see all the polygels that I'm going to try. So they are labeled right there on a little sticky. I have my ashtray, which is going to be my brush holder. I have the little pink cup with 50% isopropyl alcohol. And I have a makeup sponge to wipe my brush off on. So I'm all set up. And just to be fair, I will judge everything on a scale from 1 through 3 on firmness, clarity, and application, okay? So if it's kind of sucky, I'm gonna give it a 1. If it's pretty good, I'll give it a 2. And if it's excellent, I will give it a 3. And at the end, we will see who scores the best, all right? Now, I just want to go ahead and start with Gelike Polygel because I love this polygel. I've used it on the last 2 sets, so I already know how this polygel is going to perform. So, without further ado, let's just dive right on in with Gelike, all right? So, I'm going to squeeze a little bit out on this spatula. And let's just see. So it's very firm. It's not too firm. I think I'm going to give it a 2 on firmness because it's not the softest that I've tried and it's not the firmest that I've tried. So I'm going to say it's right in the middle and I am going to give it a 2 for firmness. As far as clarity, it does look pretty clear. So I think I will give it a 3 on clarity. Now I'm going to wet my brush just a tad and I'm going to see how well it works for the application. So what I'm looking for is that it's not sticking to the brush. If it sticks to my brush, it is going to get a 1. If it does not stick to my brush, I will give it a 3. And if it's moderately sticky, then I will give it a 2. But as you can see here, I zoomed it in pretty well and it's not sticking at all. Like I'm barely just patting it in place and it's moving. It's doing what I want it to do. So for application, I will give it a big fat 3. Out of a possible 9 being a perfect score, Gelike Polygel gets an 8, which is pretty damn awesome, guys. So I recommend this one highly. And now let's move on to Makartt. I am going to use this Makartt in clear and let's just see. Will it get an 8? Will it get a 9? I don't know, guys. Let's just give it a go. So first things first is firmness. Squeezing this out the tube, it is a lot easier to squeeze out than Gelike. So I gave Gelike a 2 for firmness. I will give this one maybe like a 1 or 1.5 for firmness, okay? Clarity, I'm gonna say it looks pretty clear so far. I'll give it a 3 on clarity. Let's hold off on that. And let's look at the application, okay? Because it is sticking to my damn brush, y'all. It is sticking to my brush. So let me go ahead and moisten my brush with a little bit of alcohol. Just a dab, not too much. And I'm going to dry it off so it's not like saturating the polygel, okay? So let's go back now that my brush is a little bit moist and let's go back and play with this polygel. So now that the brush is not as dry as it was, it is moving a little bit better, but as you can tell, there is some stringy pieces and it's, I'm going to have to give it a 2. I'm going to give it a 2. Because it was not as easy to maneuver as Gelike was. And I had some sticking to the brush. So let's just recap real quick. All right, so firmness, it gets a 1 because it was softer than the Gelike. So it has to get a lower score. Therefore, it gets a 1. Clarity, I think once I smoothed it out on the plastic, it was pretty clear. So I gave it a 3 on clarity. Application, I was going to give it a 1, but I said, you know what? It's not the worst in the world. So I went ahead and gave it a 2 because after I did moisten the brush with a little bit of alcohol, it wasn't as sticky as it was when the brush was dry. But I definitely wouldn't get a 3. It definitely didn't get a 3 on application. All right, ladies, moving right along. Let's try this Elite99. Now with a name like Elite, you better come through. You better come through. So let's just squeeze this out the tube and let's see what happens. right off the bat, it is firm. It is nice and firm. I love a good firm polygel. I'm going to give it a 2. I'm going to give it a 2. It feels great coming out the tube. It looks good. It's not falling off my brush. So let's just see what happens when I put it on this plastic. Let's see what happens. I'm going to wet my brush just a little bit and dab, dab, dab this polygel. Let's see, is it sticky? It's a little, yeah, it's a little sticky. Okay, let's wet it again. Let's wet it again. Dry it off and let's see. All right, so after I wet my brush, so it's like the Makartt. If you go in with a dry brush, it will stick. But once you wet your brush a little bit, it's not as bad. So I like it. I like it. Elite 99, it feels great. So let's just see what we got. Firmness, I give it a 2. Clarity, it looks pretty clear. I'm going to give it a 3. And application, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 2. I'm going to give it a 2 because it was just a tad bit sticky in the beginning. So with that being said, let's just do a really quick recap, okay? So for firmness, I'm going to give it a 2. It felt good. It wasn't too firm. It wasn't too soft. It felt really good. So I'm going to give it a 2. Clarity, I think it was just as clear as the Yoyogi or the Makartt. So I will give it a 3. And then application, I'm going to go with a 2 because it was just a tad bit sticky, okay? So all in all, it gets a total of a 7. And I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good. You get a thumbs up, Elite 99. You get a thumbs up. All right, let's see, who do we have next? It is going to be a nail, not anal like the butt, okay? A nail, okay? So let's just squeeze it out the tube. Let's see how firm it is. So it feels good. It feels pretty firm. I'm going to give it a 2. I love a good firm polygel. I really, really do. I'm going to give it a 2. Feels really good coming out the tube. But right away, I can tell it is not as clear. And if you can look, it's kind of stringy. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. All right, let me go ahead and wet my brush and see what happens. Oh my goodness, guys. A-nail, you better not freaking let me down because I tried the pink one and the pink one was awesome. But for some reason, the clear is just, I don't know. It's just not as, it's not wowing me. It's not giving me that vibe that I wanted, that I expected. You know what I mean? So after I put a little alcohol on the brush, it wasn't as sticky. But I'm looking here at the container and it says clear. And it's not giving me clear. It's not giving me clear when it's on this plastic. So I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm going to have to give it a 1 on clarity because it is not clear at all. Firmness, I'm going to give it a 2. And application, I'm going to say it's going to get a 2 as well because it was sticky when I first tried to play with it. After I put some alcohol on my brush, though, it's not as bad. So let's just do a quick recap before we move on. All right, now guys, I am a little disappointed in this A-nail because I used the pink before, and if you guys remember that video, it was beautiful. I loved it. I really loved it. So I really thought the clear was going to wow me and it was going to be one of the best polygels here that I'm demoing for you today, but it's not. It's not. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what to tell you. Firmness, it's going to get a 2. Clarity, as you can tell, a big fat 1. An application, I'm going to give it a 2. So it did not do as well as I thought it would. I thought it was going to rank up there with Yoyogi, but Yoyogi is still on top with an 8. Makartt has a 6. Elite 99 has a 7. And I'm so surprised that A-nail has a 5 because I don't know. I'm just kind of disappointed. I'm disappointed, guys. All right, moving on. All right, guys, I have 2 polygels left, and I hope they do not disappoint me, okay? Next one I'm going to try is Acrygel. It is from the company Modelones, and I am going to play with this clear color. Now, this one is new. I have used Modelones Polygel in the past, but I play with their pink, not their clear. So this is going to be a totally new experience. As you can tell, it is super thick, and I'm using two hands to squeeze it out. I wanted to do a zoom in, a close-up shot so that you can see there's a lot of particles in this polygel. That just means it is heavily acrylic based, all right? So with that being said, it is going to be a lot thicker than the rest, and I am going to give it a 3 for firmness because it is very firm, okay? Very, very firm. Clarity, I mean, compared to that A-nail, it's super clear. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a 3 for clarity because it looks good, especially next to that A-nail. So it has a 3 for firmness and it has a 3 for clarity. And I did not even wet my brush. I didn't even wet my brush, and it's not sticking. So I'm going to have to give it a 3 on application as well. Listen, I did not expect that. I really did not expect that. That's why I did your Yogi first, because I was like, okay, it's going to be my favorite. I already know that. I'm going to compare everything to your Yogi because it's the top dog. But wow, I am so shocked. All right, guys. Well, all right. What can I say? Let's recap. This Acrygel has the perfect score, and to be 100% honest, I was not expecting this. I'm at a loss for words right now, guys. I am at a loss for words. I don't know how to tell you guys. I don't know. I'm absolutely dumbfounded right now, but you know, it's a pleasant surprise. It is a pleasant surprise. All right, so let's move on to our very last one. It is from the company Gelike. Now, nail crew, let me just be honest with you guys. I went into this video thinking I knew what was going to be my favorite, what was going to be my least favorite, but all that is out the window, and I am learning some new things here with this polygel, and I'm so happy that I'm doing this thing side by side because, listen, I had no idea. I'm shook. I'm absolutely shook. All right, so with this Gelike, it is kind of on the soft side. So for firmness, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 1. That is not necessarily a bad thing. It is just a little bit softer, okay? Clarity-wise, it is not as clear as the Acrygel or the A-nail or even the Modelones, okay? So it is a little bit opaque. I think I got a little bit too much. I'm just going to scrape that off. Yeah, I don't think it's as clear as the others. So for clarity, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 2. And then for application, it's not sticking to the brush too bad. It's actually pretty good working with it. So I'm going to go ahead and give that a 3 for application, okay? So for so far, this polygel, the Gelike, has a 6, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. I like that. A 6 isn't bad at all. I'm shocked. I'm very shocked. I knew that I liked the Gelike. I just didn't think that it would have ranked higher than the A-nail, to be honest. I'm still a little hurt by that. I'm still a little hurt. I gotta say, this has truly been an adventure for me. I'm completely shocked. I just have to say that one more time. So let's just do a quick recap on the Gelike, and then I'm going to cure them all in the lamp for 60 seconds. So let's start with firmness. It was very soft. It wasn't as firm as the other ones, so I'm going to give that a 1. And a soft polygel is not necessarily a bad thing. It's not necessarily bad. It's just something that I'm pointing out, okay? So it's going to get a 1 for firmness. Clarity, as you can tell, this baby is not as clear as some of the others, but then again, it's not as opaque as A-nail. It's right there in the middle, so it's going to get a 2. And application-wise, oh, this was great. It was very, very nice applying this to the plastic. So it's going to get a 3. It applied very well and did not stick to the brush. So I really, really like that. All right, now finally, I am going to cure all of the polygel at the same time. We are going to cure this for a full 60 seconds. Once it pops out the lamp, I will see if I change my mind, if any of the rankings have changed. All right, so let me add in a freeze frame so that we can look at the same thing at the same time. Your Yogi still looks pretty clear. Makartt, absolutely clear. Elite99, beautiful, still clear. A-Nail, still opaque. But look at the Acrygel. It's not as clear as it was before. And the Gelike is not as opaque as it was before. So, I mean, that kind of changes things a little bit for me, wouldn't you think? Let me know what you guys think. I feel like the Acrygel should lose a point for clarity and the Gelike should gain a point for clarity because they kind of switch places a little bit after they came out the lamp. That is very, very interesting. I don't know how I feel about that, guys. Let me know if I should add a point to Gelike or take a point away from Acrygel. I don't know. I'm kind of tossed. It's a toss up for me as far as what I should do. I did not expect that to happen. I didn't think that was going to happen. Oh my goodness. So yet again, I am completely baffled and I did not expect this to happen, and I'm just going to move along. Let's just move right along. You guys tell me what to do down below because I'm confused. All right. So right now, all I'm checking is to make sure that all of the polygels did fully cure in 60 seconds. And yes, they all are cured. I am pressing and tapping and squeezing, and they are all cured straight through, which is good. They all get a thumbs up in that department. And by now, you guys already know who my favorite is. Like, I'm even shocked at my favorite at this point. But I'm going to line up all these polygels side by side, and then I'll write the numbers on them just in case you forgot or you missed it, okay? So let me just go ahead and put them all side by side. And here are all the polygels side by side. If you want, you can go ahead and take a screenshot of this so that way when you're shopping for polygels, you'll know which ones to get, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and rank these again in order, starting from my favorite down to my least favorite. Oh my God, I can't even believe it. Coming in with 9 points is the Acrygel. Yep, the Acrygel. And then we have the Yogi with 8 points. We have Elite99 with 7 points. Makartt and Gelike with 6 points. And I can't believe it, A-Nail with 5 points. I'm so shocked, guys. I'm so shocked. Be sure to let me know down below what you thought about the polygels as far as the way I ranked them. And if you would have ranked them any differently, I want to know. Let me know, all right? And of course, if you want to slide in my DMs, here is my handle on all my social media platforms. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video, guys. I appreciate you so much. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You know I do. Yeah. All right, let me stop playing. Let me stop being silly. But I do have more videos, guys. So I'm going to put 2 of them right here just for you. Look at me, helping you to help me, to help you. Look at that. Just go ahead and click one of these videos. See you next time.